Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome back to SD All In channel. I hope everyone doing well, good and safe. Let me start my sharing. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So I hope you already gone through my previous video. What is the AHRP, how it is working, what is the AHRP table, how the election happened, and how the network configuration will happen here. But the first point is here we need to be focused here only. If I What will happen if I do have the different I do have the different EHRP number. What is here I do have the 10 number. If I do have the different EHRP number, that means let's take example. I have autonomous number 10, autonomous number 20. Then how they will be going to communicate each other. So you need to be use only one command, that is router edge RP10 and redistribute router edge RP. So if you are using that command, they will be going to exchange their information. They will be going to exchange their routing information within a AS number as well as different AS number. So that is things will happen if you are using the different AS number. So mainly here multiple question we will ask here by the intro here, what is the AHRP? How will be going to communicate AHRP within a different autonomous number? And the next will be what is the AHRP formula as well as what is the AHRP packets. Hello update query and what are the tables they have and how they will be going to be changed and what are their AD values. So that question will ask to you in AHRP. So today we'll discuss about the topic is OSPF. That means open shorted path first, and it is very commonly used cause RIF having the 15 routers, EHRP having the 256 router you can use, but in OSPF you don't have any limit. You can use multiple router. So that's what it is very popular and it is very useful that is for each and current and every organization they can be used. Now, one may okay, sorry. So here we'll be focusing on what is OSPF. Let's take example. What is this is open shortest path first in the name. It is the showing best path for the source to destination, and they will be using by their own, right? It is developed by Internet Engineer Task Force and it is open standard. That means it can be used for the Cisco as well as non-Cisco devices. The AD value, administrative disk to value, that is we already discussed about the trust destination pass to reach the destination. It is the 1110 and the multicast address they are using two, that is 224.0.0.5 and 224.0.0.6. Mainly, if they wanted to be do normal communication, they can use this multicast address and they are using the DR. What are the DR or what are the BDR? Definitely we'll see into the next slide. Yes. The next that is already mentioned that no limit for the router. It is the link state routing protocol. It is support for the classless, WebLS and fixedless, subnet mask, variable length, subnet mask and CIDR also. And incremental update. That is hello is 10 second, dead is 40 second. After 40 seconds, if they are not getting the reply, they will become considered as a down state. The here the metric is cost. That means 10 raised to s divided what are the bandwidth, and we can define the bandwidth for the interface as well. So that is 10 raised to s divided by what are the list bandwidth. So here we'll be discussing about the some OSPF term. That means first is router ID. What is router ID? If in case I have the router and I have multiple interface I have connected, that is S0, S1, and here I can say S2 as well. And let's take example. I have the IP address. What let's take example. I have 201 dot something. I have 172 dot something, 172.1.1 something, and here I have 1 okay, 172 as well. Dot 16 dot 16. So what is the router ID? By default, if when packets come on the router, if you have the multiple uh, interfaces connected and it is confusing which router can be sent and reply. So that's what it router ID concept is came. That means by default it is coming, or if you haven't configured manually, you can configure the manually as well. That is you can configure that is interface OSPF one, and you can mention the router ID and you can define based on the your the path you want. But here if you are not configuring the manual, then what will happen? They will be taking highest one. Here what is the highest one? I can see 201 dot something range, that is 20.1.1.1. I can see highest one. So this interface will be act as a router ID. If you are not configured the manually, the highest what are the IP you have, they will be going to be considered as a router ID. So that is the concept of the router ID. Second is router priority. That is totally 8-bit value, and you are while doing DR and BDR, that is designated router and backup designated router for the broadcast network. And what is the designated router? If you are configuring this DR into the area, what are the OSPF area? So that is they will be using distribute LSA for the all other routers. So that means they we can say that DR, the designated router will be going to be main router. They will be sending to what are the LSA update like link state advancement ad, update to all router. So that is the things, and BDDR, that is the big backup router for this designated router, and it is it is perform into the broadcast network. So here mainly we need to be focus on the what are the router ID. You can configure router ID manually as well. If you are not configured the manually, you so it by default taking the what are the highest interface IP, that means 201. That is I can say that here. But if you want to be manually also, you can configure it manually. That is interface OSPF1 router ID, and you can define the interface as well. So mainly, there are 7 states of the OSPF while doing communication between two routers. So it is following the 7 state. First is down state. That means router A sending the packet to router B, but there will be no reply. So that is comes under the down state. That is dead. That is timer is 40 seconds. Second states is init. That means they will be changing their hello packet. That means router A sending to the router B. What are the multicast address they are using? 224.0.0.0.5, and router B will be going to acknowledge to router A with unicast. Okay, I'll be sending the hello message, and the neighborship will be going to be maintained. And in third stage is two-way state. That means actually neighborship is maintained, and they will be going to be exchange their routing information into the third state. The fourth stage is extra stage. So I already mentioned that what are the router ID, highest interface IP they will be going to be here, but mainly we need to be focused here. Router A sending to packet to the router B, that is the DBD, database distribution packet, and they will be going to be decide who will be act as a first to send a DBD message. But the election, what they are happening, they if they are changing their DBD, and after exchanging their DBD, then they will be deciding will send the first DVD this database. So who is having the highest router ID or highest interface IP, they will be going to be decide. Once the election is happen, then it will be going to be fifth stage, that is the exchange state. And what are the actually DBD database distributor will be exchange into the exchange state. Now the sixth stage is loading. Now let's take example, router A adding one new network. So router A, router B. So the information already shared. So if they are already added the one network, new network added into the, or new router added into the this router. So here this router will be request, I need that router fully information. That means link state request. And once this router reply, okay, this is the IP of that and this is routing information of that router, then it will send as a LSU packet, that means link state update. And after they will be sending the LSA, that is link state advance acknowledgement. That means if they are going to be want to be change any new additional information that is happening to the link state request, then link state update and link state acknowledgement, and that means the state is happening into the loading. And the full, that is, we can say that all the information, all the updatation is happening into the full state. So that is the overall state. That means let me tell you one more time. What is the down state? There is a no reply from the router B. What is initiated? They will be going to exchange their hello packet. The third two-way state, they will be going to be change their neighborship. The neighborship, once the neighborship is maintained, they will be going to change the routing information each other. And the extra changes, who is the, they will be deciding election, who is the highest router ID, they will be going to exchange, and they will be deciding, okay, who will be sending the first DBD message. And in fifth stage they will be going to be change actual DBD. And in loading, if in case if you new network adding, or if you want to be new information of the network, so they will be going to be link state request. Then they will be, once router B is reply to the router A, okay, this is the fully information of that particular network, then it will be going to be LSA, that is acknowledgement. So the process will be happening within a millisecond, and the information will be going to routes will be going to exchange. And once this say six stages completed, then fully stage will be going to be, OSPF router can able to log in or begin only log. So that is the OSPF state. The and here, that is not a EHRP. This is OSPF routing table. We already seen that this is neighbor table. They will be directly connected. What are the network? You will be using this command, show IP OSPF neighbor. In database table, that is link state database, and it will have the all information, all possible routes in the network within the area. What is the area? What are the OSPF type? We'll see into the next slide. And you can cross verify what is show IP edge RP topology, and the routing table, that is show IP route, the base route. So in OSPF, neighbor table was there and routing table was there. The database is newly added cause within the area what are the possible. In EHRP we are using, autonomous number to communicate to, and if you want to be different autonomous number, you can use the redistribute. So similarly, in database table, all possible routes information will be there. In next video, we'll talk about what is the OSPF area and actual packet flowing in OSPF area, in single area as well as multiple area. So thank you so much. If you're getting some knowledge from this video, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.